Hello there people, I'm just going to put this wee quick video in at the beginning of this just to talk a wee bit about what I done this day. I basically used a prop that I knew people would be interested in, that would stand out, and I placed the information around the prop. Now it worked a treat. The point being, you can attract people's attention. The prop gets people's attention, they then come over, they read the information, it then gives you the opportunity to engage. Just another method that I tried and it worked wonders. I was at this destination for 2 hours and I had the video camera on pretty much constantly because the traffic around the prop was incredible. People taking photographs, video, and while they're taking those photographs and video, they're going to be capturing the information that is there on the prop. So a wee bit of fun, and it was a great day. Again, a testament to how engaging people are, how curious people are. It was really interesting. So what I've done is I've left it, just to show you the amount of people who were attracted to it. I've left at the end of this video some of the interactions that I had with some of the people who had gathered around the prop, and had a wee discussion with them. So hopefully you enjoy that. The other point, there's so many people now that I'm seeing who are getting active in the streets and doing their activism, which is great. I've seen Joe with the Truth Cube, obviously John's continuing with his flyers and his activism there. There's so many people now that I couldn't even name them off the top of my head. A wee idea I was having, I opened this platform up specifically on a Saturday for people to let each other know they were there, and to have open discussion and get your say across. Now, I don't know if people have misinterpreted that as I'm going to upload every activism video that's out there. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do that. People use different methods. Some of the activism I see, people talk about ice walls and domes. Now I have to detach myself from that. At the same time, I promote all activism. If you're bringing awareness to people, on questioning the claim, the Globe claim, then I can only see that as a positive. And these other claims and conversations that people get involved in, I need to kind of distance myself from that a wee bit. So there's so many things there. I mean, I've missed the last 20 questions from Chaz and Chris that I wanted to upload, but I've got my own stuff that I want to get out as well. So I'm thinking of creating another channel just for activism, and anybody who doesn't have their own channel or wishes for it to be part of a shared adventure, so that we can have a lot of the activism in the one place, then let me know, give me some feedback. I'll talk about it again on Saturday to see if that's something that people would be interested in. I've got to focus on what I'm doing here, and I've not got a lot of time to sit and go through everybody's videos and then upload them to this channel. So I've got wee Stuarty boy who's agreed to take on the other channel. Obviously Marshall would help as well, and it'll just be for us to log anybody's activism, to show the methods used, or any PDFs, or any information regarding activism at all will be put on that page. So it's just a thought. As I say, I appreciate the people who are coming to me and sharing what they've been doing, their activism. Derek F-Bomb, there's another one. Great stuff, people putting thought into it and making the effort to go out and try and affect people, which I can only commend and praise. I tip my hat and respect to you, because it's not an easy thing to do. So anyway, the point again of this was just to say about the prop, and me thinking about angles and how to get people's attention, because this is what we need. We do need grassroots activism. These naysayers who say that it's not grassroots, that it's a psyop, ignore these people, right? We take control, and push your own message. Don't listen to the naysayers, these morons who are on the social media. Get out into the real world and speak to real people. And again, a testament is in this video with the later interactions that you would see at the end, of how open people are and willing to discuss. So I hope you enjoy, and it may give you some ideas on how to affect and approach people. Peace. What's this here? We have Alien Disclosure, giving us the proper information that we require in order to break free from this control. So let's see if we can attract some interest and some conversation from people. Can I ask you guys what you think of that? Rubbish. Why? Guys, can I ask you what you think of that? What's that?
It's ridiculous.
Why?
Doesn't make sense.
What, the water always finds its level and remains flat?
Oh, I was never reading it. There's a lie.
Oh, it's flat.
What do you think of it? What do you think of the planet being flat? Or Earth being flat?
It's not.
Why would you say that?
Because it's right.
Because it's not, it's round.
Can I just ask you why you would say it was round?
Right now!
Can I ask you when you're looking at the horizon what shape it is?
Right now!
See if you got high enough, you can see the curvature.
Can you? What height would you need to be at?
I've been on a crane and I could see the curvature for there.
Well,
It's only a bit.
there's a huge raging debate going on right now and nobody can agree on what height you actually need to be at before you would see curvature.
Do you think it's flat?
No, I don't think.
You know?
This is the type of responses you will get from some people. So can I ask you, sir, what do you think of it? Interesting. You don't mind me filming, do you? No? Does that make sense to you?
Not really, because I've never really thought about it, to be honest.
No? You think about it now, do you think?
Probably.
Aye. Are you aware that there's no actual real photographs or video from space? Check it out. Most of the images that you see are computer generated or artist renditions. Can I ask you, when you look at the horizon, what shape's the horizon?
Normally an illusion, is it not?
What shape would you say it was, the horizon, when you're looking at it?
I really don't know.
No?
There you go.
Take it easy, man. Can I ask you guys what you think of that? No. What's that?
That's your look.
Yeah. What do you think of the information that's on it?
Oh yeah, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
So if the Earth's 75% covered in water, how can it be a globe?
Because you never see it going like that.
Thanks, guys. Can I ask you guys what you think of that? Can I ask you what you think of it?
A bit surprised to see it.
Yeah. What about the information?
Castle Campbell.
Would you disagree with that, or would you agree that that's what your common sense observations tell you? You ever seen water behave like this?
No.
How can we be living on a sphere Earth, a round globular Earth? Cheers, guys. Guys, could I get some feedback on what you think of the information on the card there?
Confusing.
Bit confusing.
Sure what it's about.
Well, would just common sense, everyday experience tell you that bodies of water behave like convex, or would you say they were flat and level?
Flat level.
How can we be living on a sphere Earth? Would you deny your own common sense observations over images that come from private institutions?
No.
What shape do you think the Earth is?
You think it's sphere from space, don't you? But is it? I don't know.
Would it surprise you if I told you that none of those photographs, well, none of them are actual photographs, they're composite images? People like NASA tell you so that they can't get a full picture, so they have to splice together wee different sections of images in order to give you that image that you see of the circular Earth. Yet, if I asked you what shape is the horizon?
It's horizontal, but because you're on a sphere,
Have you ever seen curvature? You ever seen the curvature of the Earth with your own eyes?
look at the horizon, it curves, doesn't it?
Where?
I'm not here, but if you're out in the middle of the ocean.
Why in the middle of the ocean? How far would you say it was from that point to the furthest point over there?
No idea.
Well, the Earth curvature calculator tells you that it should be curving 8 inches per mile squared, which means the first mile is 8 inches, the second mile is 32, and so on and so on and so on. So over, say, a 5, 10, 15 mile stretch, you should be seeing hundreds of feet of curvature.
Right. So what's the sign all about? Still confused.
Well, the sign telling you the natural physics of water. The natural physics of water is to seek its own level. It will take the shape of any container. The surface of it will always be parallel and flat, and if it's not, it will be flowing like a river. So we know that all standing bodies of water upon Earth are level and flat, and we know that they say the Earth is 75% covered in water, so how could we be living on a sphere?
Too early for that.
Cheers, my man. This is all it takes, people. You know, get people's attention, something that they'll find interesting, and put your information within it. The information will seep in eventually. They might not get it in that instant, but in their subconscious mind the question will be there. Can I ask you guys what you think of the information on the board?
Going that?
Yeah. Do you understand that the physics of water, you know, that's not how we see water.
Right, well,
We don't see water behaving like that.
Right. Interesting, aye?
Huh? Can I ask you guys what you think of the information on the board?
The globe is a lie.
Yeah. If the Earth's covered 75% in water and we know the physical behaviours of it,
I'd rather you don't
I'll not put you up. That's alright, mate.
So what are you trying to say?
No, I'm not trying to say anything. I'm saying that's what we observe every day in our reality. That's what we test and observe 100% of the time. That's how bodies of water on Earth behave. To suggest that a body of water can be convex in the middle is absolutely ridiculous. So what people like me are aware that these images that they show us of supposed space are no actual photographs. They're just images, they're composites. So we get into natural science and look at real physics, and things like water tell us, you know, it's a great measuring tool.
But then if you look at water in a cup, it's not flat. It's
Yeah, you get
shaped
meniscus.
like that.
You
Yeah,
get meniscus.
yeah.
Yeah, of course. But again, you would just be proving that water has to be in some sort of container. Do you think you could get a body of water to conform to the exterior of a shape?
But then what about gravity?
About it?
Well, surely gravity holds everything down.
Well, it's a theory, it's never been proven.
But it's round. So yeah.
Hey, well, man.
If everybody looked the same, we get tired of looking at each
Exactly, mate. Bo, come here. Bo, come. Sit down. You don't want it filmed? No, it's mine. I'm just looking for people's reactions. Sir, can I ask you what you think of that? I'm not keeping you on film.
Hey?
Can I ask you what you think of the information on the board?
Don't know what I think, man. Still trying to work it out.
Yep. Have you ever witnessed water behaving like the bottom left picture? Yep.
No.
If they tell us that the Earth is 75% covered in water and they say it's a ball, how could that be possible? What shape's the horizon when you look at it?
That way.
Flat.
Aye.
You ever seen the curvature of the Earth with your own eyes?
You what?
You ever seen the curvature of the Earth with your own eyes?
No.
No? Why would you believe it to be true? Do you believe it to be true?
It's what's in textbooks, isn't it?
Yeah. So that information there made you think? Nice one. Excellent.
I was more intrigued by the camera, to be honest with you.
Well, that's it. That's to
Is that what makes you think?
get people to draw in, then they can read the information. You know, otherwise they just wouldn't read the poster, you know. Glad it made you think, man.
Good.
Nice one. It's okay. So many people here, you know, a lovely day like today. These are great destinations. You have a natural observation right in front of you, i.e. the body of water. You know, so it's something that people can see with their own eyes, and it's very easy to trigger them into understanding what their reality actually is.
Castle came up.
Can I ask you what you think of the information on the board?
Trying to make sense.
Trying to make sense?
Trying to make sense.
I'll no video if you don't want me to video you.
Carry on, I'm beautiful. You know that wee guy looks like he's smoking a wee joint?
Aye.
Well, we're trying to get...
Unfortunately, I couldn't get rid of that for the top of it. I know. So can you make sense of the information that's there?
I can't. Not a clue.
Oh, have you ever seen a body of water with a curve in the middle of it?
No. It always finds its natural...
there's always a
So it always finds its what, sorry?
It's natural lying. It's
Level. Natural level. How would then could we be living on a sphere, a ball earth?
That's me getting gravity, I don't understand it. I'm not a physician, I've not got a clue.
But you've never seen anything like that with your own eyes?
No.
No. But you would believe it if somebody in a white coat told you so?
No.
No?
No.
You can observe it right in front of you?
I think I believe what I believe because I've worked it out for myself, not because somebody's told me.
Alright.
Use my own head.
So do you believe it as a globe?
Don't know.
You don't know? Why?
Why not? You too, why not?
Well, I've gave you scientific information.
Give me too much information, yeah, because I'm quite convinced he's acting right. Would you not say?
Right, what is your purpose?
Well, my purpose is just to bring awareness to people that there is this ongoing question, and it's really blown up now, especially on the internet. You know, people like myself and other academic people are starting to ask real questions now. We don't have any real photographs from space or any real video footage from space. The images that we see are composite images and artist renditions, they're no actual photographs. So, if I asked you what shape was the horizon when you look at it?
It's a line, isn't it?
Horizontal and flat. Have you ever seen any curvature of the earth with your own eyes?
Me, I have.
Where? That's what you think, that's what you've been shown through the media.
Exactly. Your mummy's clever.
Now, what do you call them guys that are
She's not my mummy, that's my mummy.
I just think he's got a very inquisitive mind, and that's not a bad thing.
Well, this is it.
Not a
There's
bad
nothing wrong with people asking questions, is there?
Absolutely not. But when
challenging.
you've got answers, but you've got to go. I'm listening now.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you very much.
Have a good day.
You too.
We better not end up on YouTube.
Well, you will be if you don't want me
This
to
is
put you
his
up. I'll not
last
put you up.
one. This is his last day.
Do you think they'll understand what we're saying? Because nobody seems to.
Well, I have to. I've got it's a lot of American people and people all over the world that listen now, so I have to train myself to speak a bit proper, you know. Subtitles. We have done before.
Have a good day.
You too. Thank you very much.
Is this your laddie?
Yeah, it's my bitch.
Is it something you do?
Seems well behaved.
Yeah, she is. Go. Say it again. What were you saying there?
I'm starving. No, as I say, we go to school, we're taught, and we're taught to believe what we're being told.
Yeah.
And whether Mrs. Miller or Mrs. McGonagall or whoever,
Yeah.
how does she know? We're only taking her word for it.
Exactly.
You know, but fair dues, inquisitive mind.
Yes. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Would you like a hairdo?
Yeah.
Shocking.
See you later.
And the castle table.
Zoom in on the information, make sure you capture that.
Last September.
Oh, this is the bicycle lane. Oh, wow.
Excuse me guys, can I ask you what you think of the information on there? Excuse me, can I ask you what you think of the information on the board? Puzzled?
some cameras. What?
Eh?
It's nice.
It's alright. No, it's mine, it's okay.
Was it yours?
I'm trying to get the reaction of people for the information that's on the board. Can I ask you what you think of the information?
Pretty bang on, eh?
Does it make you question where you live?
Not really.
No?
No.
No. Thank you. Sir, can I ask you what you think of the information on the board?
I didn't read it enough.
Or did you not read it enough? Alright. Sorry, can I ask you what you think of the information on the board?
I've never read it.
Just try to tell him not to smoke. He's standing there saying you smoke.
Can I ask you what you think of the information on the board?
Sorry. I don't know. What's it supposed to be saying? I know that the water underneath is locked. Portion is at the top.
So have you ever seen a body of water that would display the shape of anything on its surface?
No, a rage, that's what happened.
Yeah. So the point is then, if you know that, how can the earth be a globe covered in water?
covered in water.
How can the Earth be a globe?
There are holes. Oceans are holes.
But you know the surface of every body of water is flat and level. So how can you flat and level surfaces on a globe?
Oh, that's true, that's true. On a ball,
Aye. As soon as he said it, I went like that, and I looked at it.
What shape's the horizon when you look at it?
What I mean?
Straight and flat. You ever seen any curvature anywhere? I mean like curvature at the Earth. Would it surprise you if I said that there's no actual photographs and videos from space?
No, it wouldn't surprise him at all.
I don't even think they've been in the moon.
They've no.
I don't know, you agree with me there now.
I think the whole reason they done that was to convince people that the Earth was a globe, but it's not really a globe.
That's flat.
It is flat.
Walk off the end of it. Where do you go?
I never said there was an edge. Everybody thinks there's an edge, but
Infinity.
how do we know it's there?
Goes on to infinity.
We only go with what we're told.
Oh,
You thinking?
Oh,
No, it's like he said, I kind of thought that too. Because when you see pictures, and if the Earth and the moon's meant to be, when they jump, that sandy stuff would all move, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean?
Well, for me that's all been falsified. We know that they never
Aye.
went to the moon.
Aye.
But you've got to think of the motivations for why they would have done that.
stop the Russians getting there and putting a plant up there.
Well, that's what they said. But for me, it's to convince people that we do live in a globe. Because if you convince people that you live in a globe, people won't investigate. They'll not go and search for anything else. They'll think that everything's been discovered.
We walk for infinity to get to the end.
If there is an end.
There isn't it?
Well, that's it, infinity.
What happens? You start
no
to
name.
walk for there and come back to you.
Well, you'd have to say it was a ball first. Have you ever done that?
No, I don't think anybody's ever done
No.
that.
No.
There's no within the imagination to walk around about it.
No, it's just stories they told us. Stories they told us. Excuse me, sir, can I ask you what you think of the information on the board? Alright.
Hey, thanks for your information.
Aye, no
Chat.
problem. Thanks for talking. Thank you very much.
No. You'll have it for breakfast. That's skinny at 18. He's obviously had too much weed. Come on.
I'm going to cover the hat for the next time.
Looks like he's had a good night out.
Can I ask you what you think of the information that's on it?
I've not read it yet.
Oh, you not read it?
No, no. Making sure he looks
I'll let you a wee read and you can tell me what you think.
Seawater's behaving nicely. Are you asking me would the world always find its own level?
Would you agree with the information that's on the board?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if they say that the Earth is 75% covered in water,
Well, we're only living on 10% of the globe anyway, the rest of the water, 90% water.
so you do believe it is a globe?
That's actually been proven.
Well, this is the question.
It's an interesting question.
This is the question. Has it been proven? Have you ever seen the curve of the Earth with your own eyes?
Not my own eyes. No, everywhere looks flat and level to us.
Yeah.
And it's just what's underground, which is what's charted,
Yeah.
undiscovered.
Yeah.
And all we see is what's on surface.
Would it surprise you if I said to you that there's no actual photographs or video from space?
Well, they've taken photographs of the planet Earth, haven't they?
There are no photographs, they're composite images.
Just images.
Just images.
Big good point. No, Ross. No.
Would you ignore your own senses and common sense observations in favour of an image anyway?
I don't now, we're bordering on the line of like conspiracy theories and stuff like that.
Well, it's not really, it's science, because the objective world's about natural science. So what I'm saying to people is would you deny objective reality, i.e. testing the liquids on Earth? Would you ignore that common sense natural science observation in favour of an image? If I gave you an image of Loch Ness Monster, would you accept that as proof that the Loch Ness Monster was real?
No, I'm very sceptical about that.
Yeah.
Sceptical.
What about yourself, man? What do you think of the information?
Well, this information?
Yeah.
I don't really know what it's saying. Tell me what it's saying.
Well, it's saying...
The Earth is now...
Are you taking things at face value?
Well,
Yes, it is.
this is what the water's abundant on Earth, and it's a natural element that we can all test and observe. We can find, you know, we can all come to the same findings that bodies of water on Earth will not display the shape of anything upon its surface. They'll always be flat and parallel. So we know that to be a physical fact of reality that's testable.
On its own level.
That's,
Irrespective of depth, contours.
yep, it will find its own level.
Yeah.
I know the only way that the water will be a standing body is if it is contained in some way.
That's right, yeah. By
Yeah.
gravity.
By gravity. So have you ever seen a practical example of a body of water conforming to the exterior of a shape?
The exterior of a shape,
Yep.
such as a water balloon.
It's just to be contained.
Well, they say the Earth's a globe with water, vast oceans clung to it, and the surface of the oceans are curved. Yet that goes against everyday common sense observations and testing. This is what I'm saying to people, there's a contradiction between these images and what we actually test, natural science,
But why would it not be covered?
because that's not how it behaves.
How do you know?
Because I've tested it till I was blue in the face.
Where did you do the test?
If you want a cup of tea, you need a cup. So you can start with a. You could start with
So
a.
it's contained in its own vessel.
You could start with a test tube. You know that it's a container to hold the water. We could move to a cup. We could then go to a basin. We could go to a sink, a bath, a swimming pool, a lake.
Water will still find its own
An
level,
ocean.
irrespective of which way
So,
it
so why
tilts
would you
or-
think an ocean's any different from any other observation that you've ever had in your life? So size means that it can curve. Do you get any proof for that to be the case?
Why do you get any proof that it's not the case?
No, I've tested it on every scale I possibly can. What do you mean?
But what's the coverage going to be between here and Rothsay?
Well, the curvature is, the accepted curvature, if you go to any of the mathematicians, is 8 inches per mile squared. So the first mile you would have 8 inches of curvature, and then it starts to square every time after that. So the second mile would be 32 inches, and then 74, and blah blah blah. You know the. So if we go to places like Blackpool and we can see the Isle of Man, which is 60 miles away, the curve calculator would tell me that that has to be thousands of feet below the curvature of the Earth when it's clearly visible on the other side. So there are serious flaws and anomalies with the math and the claims that they're making to us.
Surely it's got to do with forces, right? So you've got the same amount, let's say the surface of the Earth, right? The gravity at the surface of the Earth is the same at every point on that circumference, right?
Yep.
So the forces acting on that water at every point is the same at the same altitude. That'll keep it at the same level.
I know that theory, that's pure theory, but for me natural science comes to measurable, testable, observable and repeatable. So, you know, if I just told you a story like a religious story, you wouldn't accept that in science as being a fact of science. It has to be measurable, testable, observable and repeatable, you know, in order for it to come under the realms of natural science. So I know that you're saying that. Could you give me a practical example? Other than the images that the institutions give you?
Okay, you're saying that you cannot observe. Ross is not that far away, right? So you're not going to be observing the curvature of the Earth. How far away does it need to be before?
Well, it's 8 inches per mile squared, so at 1 mile there should be 8 inches of curvature, and then 32 after 2 miles, and then 74 after 3 miles, and so on and so on, because it's an exponential curve. It gets steeper as you go.
If you stood in the same place.
If you stood in the same place. So as I say to you, if I go to Blackpool Beach and stand right on the beach, I should not be able to see the Isle of Man.
How far away is it?
60 miles. 60 miles at 8 inches per mile squared is a lot of curvature. See, if they're going to claim that it is a ball, you have to have measurable curvature. Nobody has ever produced measurable curvature. Nobody has ever produced a test or any experiment that shows that the Earth moves.
That the Earth moves?
Yep. Airy's failure, the Sagnac experiment and the Michelson-Morley experiments failed to detect any motion of the Earth. Have you ever felt any movement?
It's moving because it's moving at constant speed.
Yeah, 1,000 miles per hour at the equator. So the further you go away from the equator, north or south, there would be a slower rate. So you'd have to have an increase in gravity. You would be heavier as you moved away from the equator because they try to balance it with centripetal force.
The motion of the water to move in the direction that it goes in?
Sorry, what do you mean?
How does the water find its own level? It's got to come.
Well, I would say that that's its most balanced equilibrium, the most balanced state that it could be in. Nobody really knows the full extent of reality and why things are the way they are. They've just got theories. But when you come back to natural science, you have to base things on observations, testing, repeating. So that's what I'm saying to people. We know liquids upon Earth must have a container. A body of water does not show the exterior of any shape upon its surface ever. But yet we have to believe.
It's not down to exterior masses and compression and stuff like that. The water moves in its own way, let's say. It finds its own level.
It does find its own
exterior
level.
masses that you're saying that's moving the water. Let's just say the compression, let's say, of what's outside, the pressure on the water, keeping it to the same level.
Outside where?
The outside pressure of the globe, let's just say, you know, the compacted pressure
Yep, I know the arguments, yep.
on the globe.
Yep.
It forces the water to return. It's not just going to be static at any time.
Yep.
It's moving, don't you think, because the core of the Earth is moving and the Earth is moving around.
Well, these are all claims that are, for me, are unfounded. It's just stuff that we repeat, that we don't have any actual scientific backing. It's just a story, it's a narrative that they have pushed. If I go and look for proof of these claims, like the layers of the earth right into the core, I get cartoon drawings and I get writing. Now I can go to any religion, I can go to that church and I can pull their book out and see text and images, drawings. For me, that doesn't constitute as scientific proof. It has to be measurable, testable and repeatable. All claims should meet that criteria, or else I can say to you, Nessie's real, and if I can produce a picture of Nessie, then that should be taken as scientific fact that Nessie is real. That's nonsense.
It's been described all the time, hasn't it?
But it's a nonsense logic.
So what's your theory then? The first curvature?
There isn't curvature. Well, we would appear to be living on a level plane.
So what about people who have something like it wasn't Ferdinand Magellan and all them that allegedly went to...
Magellan never finished his thing, it was his crew members apparently, but again we go to a logical fallacy because that's taking stories from 200-300 years ago.
Down through history and,
well, you know, so was the Bible. Would you believe the Bible because they say it was passed down through history? Some of it, well, that's up to each individual, you know, but for me, I base things on empirical facts. I don't want to have beliefs or assumptions in my mind. I would rather know my reality that I'm actually living in. So for me, I have to break away from what is hearsay and what is conjecture and look for actual measurable proof for any claim.
So with the idea of the, let's say, the alien life form, the ET, why did you pick that as a focal point?
Because it's drawn people's attention.
No, is it fact or fiction?
Well, the alien thing for me is nonsense, but who knows? You know, I just know that it would attract people to get them to look at the information. You know? Thank you very much. Thanks for speaking, man. Thank you.
Nice discussion.
Yep.
Good discussion.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. I hope it makes you think.
Every day's a different day, isn't it?
Oh, that's it.
The fact that we breathe Earth, you know, we wake up in the morning, we're grateful for that.
Yeah.
But we do take things for granted.
Yeah, exactly. We do. We do, mate. That's the whole point.
So, living in suspended animation is the virtual reality that we're living in.
That's what I think.
Isn't it? It's all predicted.
Yep. Well, they can predict it because they program it. They put it into the culture and then they can predict your behaviour based on the programming that they put out there.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. It's time for us to break free of that.
Big institution running there.
That is it. That is it. For me, they've got us penned into this area that we call Earth, and they've made us think that they've discovered the whole thing, where people like me think there's much more beyond to discover, and they don't want us discovering that. So
you'd like to think that the Earth is a flat, level playing field?
Well, all my senses and my everyday experience, my common sense tells me so, that it is a level plane. You know, I would have to deny my common sense and my everyday experience.
So what would be the circumference of the Earth? Would it be greater or smaller, let's say, if it was a globe and it was on a level that just stretched out and it was flat?
Well, it would be a bit greater beyond the equator. But one of the interesting things that you find is that there's only 5% of the world's population lives in the southern hemisphere. The majority of the flights are in the northern hemisphere. So for me, there's vast areas here that are just being overlooked that we don't really know
Well
about.
uncharted, yeah. They know more about what's on the surface than they do underground.
Well, they could have us just going round in a circle, you know, and there's a vast area beyond that circle. I mean,
Here's one for you now. You know, the tsunami, let's say, that happened.
yeah,
Natural occurrence of two tectonic plates are moving and shifted, and they've had the submersibles that's gone down. 60 metres void when it's lifted. It's gone up. So the creation, just by doing that fact, the water's got to go somewhere, which will create the tsunami.
yeah.
But equally at the same time, I think it was the Koreans or the Indians, they were doing the underground tests, you know, like the bombs,
Yeah.
the atomic bombs.
Yeah.
Just by dropping that and pointing that, that's going to make a tectonic plate.
Well, this is it. This is it.
You know, so
I mean that.
are we living in an overpopulated nation, let's say, and I can see where you're going with this here.
Yeah.
It's the world's way of saying, right, we need to take away these people here just so we can live and survive instead of being entombed or trapped, let's say.
Well, for me, I think they have entombed and trapped us. You know, they've told us that this is all that there is. They've forced us into situations of living in these cities and close together. There's so much. I mean, look at Scotland alone. You know, I just need to go half an hour's drive and I'm into barren wasteland, you know, open country, yet we're all herded together in a wee... Make sure you zoom in on the information. Make sure you zoom in on the info.
Oh, mommy. Have one for Have you got any more tickets?
Lies a body just losing life, and someone sneaking round the corner, but that someone didn't like the night. There's a tugboat down by the river, with cement just drooping on down. Oh, that cement is just, it's there.
Ask you what you think of that, sir.
Five will get you 10 old Mackies back in town. Hear about Louis Miller and old Lucy Brown. Oh, the light old Mackie is back.
Come on, mate, let's see. Come on.
See that, I could sit here all day and get loads of this. That's incredible. I'm at 40 wee clips already. 40. Just shows you that the prop works.
Dad.
Could I get your reaction to the information, sir?
My reaction to it? It's educational, that's the first thing it appears to me.
Daddy, can you read it?
Yeah, I'm not sure I haven't digested it all.
Daddy, read it.
It seems to imply the globe is a lie.
Yeah.
So what the Earth isn't round?
The Earth isn't a ball.
Is that what it's implying?
Yeah.
So that's interesting. It's an interesting hypothesis.
Yeah. What about the information on liquid water on Earth, how it behaves? Would you agree with that description?
What, the water is always level?
Yeah, and the surface. Yeah.
Not really, no, because you can make water.
How so?
You can charge particles. You could charge particles in it and bend it. Can you?
You can get a static balloon next to a tap and get the water to flow, but it's a standing body of water and having convexity on the surface. Yeah.
So what's the point of it?
Well, it's people like myself. I've got a YouTube channel that I've had going for a couple of years. We've got so many different people involved now, and we open up every Saturday and we offer people the chance to prove that the world is actually a round ball. So far we've had nothing. There is absolutely zero measurable curvature anywhere. All the natural science proofs point towards the Earth being a level plane with no curvature.
Can you prove that? Can you disprove it's not a ball?
Well, I can disprove it by using a natural element like water that's, they say, 75% covers the Earth. We know, we can test it, we depend on it for building, for constructing, we always have done. Before there was spirit levels or lasers, we used water to level everything.
Yeah, I know, I used it.
There you go. So there's your answer.
But you still get the level, you can't. The distance is so immense that using a water level over 50 feet, you would get practically no reading whatsoever.
Well, the actual reality of that is that water's more accurate than any man-made instrument, because if you use a laser, you'll have diffraction and refraction of the light because of the moisture in the air. But if you use water, you're going to get it right 100% of the time.
So what's the goal of this ultimately?
It's to bring about awareness of the fact that you've got institutions like NASA and these space agencies who are taking $50 million per day and telling people lies and offering them nothing but cartoons and artist drawings. Would it surprise you if I said there's no actual photographs from space, no video footage?
Would it surprise me? I don't know, it depends where you take your information from and what you believe.
Well, NASA will tell you that their images are composites, they're not actual photographs. They tell you that they can't get a full photograph, so they need to piece together all these wee slices, and then they get an artist to put in the colour and blah blah blah. So what you think you're seeing is not an actual photograph.
Ah well, there you go. So what benefits this to you doing this campaign?
Well, I want to know what's beyond what they're keeping from us, because I think there's more to this world than just what they've told us.
Oh, it definitely is. Very good. There you go. 2,000 years and we won't be here before we...
Well, I've got to try. I want my children free from the indoctrination and the lies. So
you want to hold people to account for what they tell you?
Well, I'd rather just have people having free thought and independent critical thought, rather than blaming anybody, because I would blame myself. If I believe something without actually analysing it, then I'm the only one to blame for that.
Sounds good.
Excellent.
Good luck. Well, good luck.
Thanks very much for the chat.
No worries.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take it easy.
Thank you, my man. See, I'm looking. those people that I've just spoken to are now looking at the water and looking at what they're seeing, which is great. It's exactly what we're looking for. Once the common sense is tripped in, people, they'll start looking through their own eyes and start believing what they're seeing rather than what they were told. What do you think of the information that's on there? Well, how would you agree with the information that's on it?
Probably, yes.
Yeah. So if they tell us that the Earth's a round sphere ball, how can it be so if we know how that's how water behaves?
Yeah, interesting.
Very good.
Where did it disappear from? Where does this come from?
Well, it came from the fact that people are asking questions about the space institutions and the fakery that they've been doing, which then leads you to understand why they've been faking these things. And for people like myself, they fake these things in order to convince you that your life was meaningless and that you live on a space ball flying through the infinite vacuum of space. When the reality is that we live on a level plane. Well, that's what I think. What do you think?
What do you think?
Do you think we live on a globe?
Yes.
Can I ask you why?
Well, I suppose technically no one's proved otherwise so far.
So you think they've proved that it is a globe?
Oh no, I'm not saying that. I have to accept what I have learned over the years.
Yeah. So would it be safe to say that you, because of what they told you in school and stuff, you've...
Well, that's all we have to go on.
Yeah, that's
To be
it.
honest, at this age, I don't really care.
You don't care. Well, that's fine. That's fine.
Honestly, yeah.
I totally understand that. I totally understand that.
It doesn't really matter.
Oh well, that's a good enough answer.
You know, then.
No, that's me. I'm going home. I've had plenty of footage, so I'm going to go and I'm going to edit this and get it on my channel. So
What channel's that?
it's a channel called Beyond the Imaginary Curve.
All right. You and my son would get on
Oh
well.
yeah, very well.
Excellent.
He's a great believer of there's more to what we know.
What they tell us. Aye. Well, if you don't mind, I'll give you a wee card and you can pass the card on to your son if you don't mind. I'm just going to go and grab it. Thank you very much for talking to me. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Lovely to meet you. I'll grab the wee card and I'll come back and get him.
It's just you in it.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be.
Yeah.
I love it like that. You know?
Yeah, it's the way we should be free, but they've removed critical independent thought from people. They've put the education system to a place of believe what we tell you and then repeat what we tell you. They don't really encourage critical thought and independent thinking.
That's right, you're outside the circle and if you're thinking of yourself.
It's basically how a religion works in order to control people. And for me, religion's always had the control, and they just moved into the branches of science and they took control of that, and they've used that now to control
Church
people.
of Scientology and stuff like that, they've got the laws leading scientists and whatever, but again it's an institution, you know, they're all paying and whatever into it to...
Well, you know, they don't break it down. Science for me comes under, you know, different categories. You've got formal science, social science and natural science. Mathematics is a formal science because it's a language and it doesn't depend on empirical observations, but they've made idols out of mathematicians and made it so that when a mathematician says something it's taken as fact. Well, he was a mathematician, you know, his theories were never based on actual observation.
We went to Turkey and we've seen the tree that Archimedes, the founder of medicine, you know, the discoverer of medicine. We sat under the tree where he was a scholar in the young day doing his calculations, and this is Archimedes, the exact tree. You know, we sat under. That's in Turkey.
There you go.
Bodrum, Turkey. Excellent. You know, next month on the 28th, I'm going to Machu Picchu.
Excellent. Excellent.
And I'll get up there. It's been on my bucket list since I was 85. 52 now.
Cool.
I'll get up there and I'll cry like a baby.
Aye.
My missus is going there and she's doing the hotels, the running water, 4 hotels, and then getting a train to go to the base camp, which is another 3,000 feet from the top. It's a 3-hour walk, let's say.
That'd be worth it.
She's having all the lap, and I'm tabbing, I'm walking it and living under the stars. I'm an ex-army nut, so for me that's seeing it. That's not been.
So you're ex-army.
I am.
You know how radar works then?
I know radar. Yeah.
How does radar work on a ball?
On a ball. Well, yeah, that's what you're saying on a sphere, yeah. Yeah, exactly, yeah.
How would a periscope work on a ball? How would an unaided missile work on a ball?
Well, yeah. Yeah, some good theories there, yeah.
How would a gyroscope work on a ball? You know what a gyroscope is?
Probably wouldn't work, would it?
Yeah. A gyroscope keeps a plane level.
The centre of the Earth, I mean, it's at 1.5 degrees it's tilted to. 1.5 degrees to get the momentum, to get the Earth spinning. Like you say, it's 1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah.
The Earth is spinning.
But yet it's never been proven that the Earth moves.
Yeah, who's actually worked out that calculation, how fast it works?
This is it, it's
And where are they
mathematicians. Exactly. Listen, I'm going to give you a card for my YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, that's fantastic,
We go live. We go live every Saturday night.
That's cool, yeah.
We've got so many people involved, and you know, anybody's welcome to come and prove to us that the Earth is actually a globe. So if you ever feel like you can prove to us, or you've got anything you want to add, or you know, even if you want to come and say, look, it made you think and question, and you know, it'd be great. We'd love to hear from people that.
So
we
you're
meet in the street.
YouTubing as well, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, YouTube, beyond imagining.
Beyond the imaginary curve, for obvious reasons.
Excellent.
Thank you very much for talking.
Yeah. Cheers
Thank
for
you.
the input and all that. Yeah.
Take it easy.
You got your hands full with this one here, haven't you? See you again, brother.
Take it easy, my man.
Right,
Thank
take
you.
care, mate.
Take care, buddy. Thank you.